here with today's Thursday business tip. So today we're going to talk about Pinterest. So Pinterest started out like a pinning board. People could go and find things they liked and pin them on their board. Well, it's become a search engine. So if you are looking for inspiration, if you're looking for how to do something, people go to Pinterest. If you're looking for a recipe, where do you go? You go to Pinterest. So Pinterest is the number 2 driver to my website and to my Etsy shop. So we've talked about Facebook and how powerful Facebook is. So the number 2 place to really try to get your audience is Pinterest. So right now, my Pinterest has about 650,000 views a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of views. And so I can use that to target people in different places. So let's say that you have an online shop. Well, what do? You go to a place like Canva, where you can make vertical pictures, because on Pinterest you want vertical pictures. You want your pictures to be vertical. It's free, it's easy to make them. They already have a template you can use, and you put your picture and then you put your website where you want people to go. So what's most important about Pinterest? Well, the most important thing about Pinterest, or really any site like Pinterest, is to use SEO terms. That's search engine optimization. Since it is a search engine itself, you want to use terms. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. Well, let's say you made a wreath. Let's say you made a farmhouse style wreath. Well, in your title you would want to have farmhouse style wreath. You would want your picture to be labeled farmhouse style wreath. In your description, you want farmhouse style wreath. Do you see how this works? So it's like tags, like you would use on your Etsy shop or anything else. If you do a blog post on your website, you want tags in there. You want searchable terms, because people are going to go to Pinterest, and what are they going to search for? So you need to think about it a little bit. Okay, they're probably going to search for farmhouse wreath. They're going to search for boxwood wreath, or whatever it is that you're making. So you want to use a lot of those terms, and that's how you get people to find your page. You also want to have boards set up that are also search engine terms. So like that farmhouse wreath, well, you would want a board for farmhouse wreaths. So this is kind of the general idea of what you need to do. Now, of course, there's a lot more to Pinterest than just that, but these just kind of give you the basics of what you can do with Pinterest. So let's talk about how often you need to pin. Okay, you need to pin 10 to 20 times a day. That's a lot, right? And so you want to space them out. You wouldn't want to pin them all at one time, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people throughout the day who are getting on Pinterest. Because when you pin it, it's going to go up, and they might catch it right then. So you want to space them out throughout the day. There are some scheduling applications that you can use. Tailwind is one. Tailwind is a really good one. They only allow you to have so many for free, and then you do have to pay. But it is very powerful. It's not that much money. I think it's like $15 a month. And, it really can help you get a lot more traffic to your pinned boards. So you definitely want to spend some time on Pinterest out after you already have your main social media set up. And you know what? Pinterest might be your main social media. You have to decide, which one do I spend the most time on? Am I on Pinterest in all of my off time? Do I know how Pinterest works and I'm really good at it? Well, guess what? Then That's probably the one you should start with. Am I on Facebook all the time, and do I know Facebook really well? Well, then Facebook is the one that you want to start with. So it kind of helps a little bit if you start with the social media that you know the best, that you already kind of like to spend time on. But there are a couple of things that are important. So when you become an entrepreneur and you start to decide to use Pinterest for your business, then you need to pin things that are business related. You don't want to pin them, personal pins on there, because it's no longer about what you like, it's about what your audience likes. So you want to kind of look at the analytics a little bit and figure out what your audience likes, and so you can pin more of those things. So doesn't mean you can't still look at Pinterest and find things that you really like. What it means is you make that a secret board. So this is how you get lots of views on Pinterest. So let's talk about that. So on Facebook, what's most important with Facebook? Facebook's important thing is followers and engagement. Okay, so that means people engaging with your post. On Pinterest, it is views and repins. So how many people view your pins and then repin them? Because it's like they used to say, the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Well, you can use that same analogy in a lot of things, right? So, this person knows him, and this person knows him, and this person knows him. Well, it works that way when you're pinning things, right? If you pin it, and then Sally Sue down the street repins it, then guess what? People who are friends with her and who look at her boards are going to see it. And then guess what? You've just made a whole nother possible audience because that was repinned. So that's how Pinterest works, and it really is a really great one to spend some time on. Now remember, when you're doing anything related to business, it's really important that you don't spend all of your time doing that. So when I tell you you should spend some time on Facebook or you should spend some time on Pinterest, set up specific times that you can do it, because otherwise you're going to get overwhelmed because you're going to be spending way too much time on that. So you don't want to do that. Be intentional about what you do, and then you will succeed. So I hope you enjoyed this and that it helps you. Make sure to leave in the comments if you have any questions or if there's something else you would like me to cover. And I'll be back in a week, and I will see you then. Have a blessed night. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.